Hello and welcome back to Cardboard Decoy Plays Kerbal Space Program. The screen is black, do not fret. It is loading up our engine rocket. I determined that actually all of these, since nuclear engines are kind of heavy, I decided, hey, why don't I just do the math on this? And I did, and found out it's about as heavy as one of these engines are, so I basically just made a launcher that was about the same as what we used to launch the actual fuel up to the station, except with, of course, an extra engine that will guide us around and that kind of a deal, and no big deal really. So let's see how well this actually works. This ought to be fun. Okay, SAS is on. Don't want to screw that up. That'd be embarrassing. So, and yeah, now we just we wait it out. No big deal. So, yeah, hopefully if all goes well, this thing is pretty securely tied together. I think I can definitely tell where there might be some problems right off the bat, just because this part is pretty bendy. So we'll have to definitely make sure that we secure all of these points to one another, if not the fuel tanks and that kind of a deal. But that shouldn't be too big of a problem, really. Let's see. I took off the nose cone and added this shielding docking port, specifically so that we can have it control from here. There we go. So, and that's going to serve two purposes. One, that's going to I mean, I guess if we really needed the docking port, we have it now, right? And then two, whenever we actually start trying to steer the station around, we have a point to be able to steer from, and hopefully that will make the whole process a little bit easier. Oh, hey, I forgot to asparagus these together. Oh, well, let's see what actually ends up happening. Should be kind of interesting, I imagine. So, alright, we're going to begin our gravity turn. We're going pretty dang fast, so... Oh, there's a little bit of jiggly. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what our height is doing. Oh man, yeah, that's a little bit of jiggly. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and kill our speed and then turn us around to make sure that we are in line to actually achieve an orbit. So that was a lot more thrust than I was expecting. So this might take a little bit to actually get around here. But yeah, I fully intended to asparagus everything, but I forgot to actually add the fuel lines to do that with, so... Don't mind me, just forgetting stuff, you know. Okay, what's our velocity at? Or not velocity, altitude. Velocity is pretty easy to figure out since it's, you know, right here in bright green numbers. So, okay. Now we are pointed towards the horizon. I'm just waiting until we get to about... Oh, it's not going to let me... Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button to time warp. Maybe that's a sign. There we go, that's ×2. Chances are, if anything bad's going to happen, it's going to happen right about now. We'll start hearing the explosions, but no explosions were heard. So we go back to time warp ×1, and then just try to keep her as stable as possible here for the next little bit of acceleration. Yeah, it's a wibbly wobbly. Just a little bit. Whoa. Yeah, it definitely wants to wiggle just a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, why do you feel the need? Why do you feel the need to turn so? Alright, fine. Well, we're just gonna let it turn as it wants to. We might ditch the rest of these motors here pretty quick. And then see what happens and try to hopefully salvage this as best as we can. Or go back and asparagus everything like we wanted to and add some more struts. Also an option, probably not a bad one. Alright, so we're still turning around a bit. And it's trying to slow down our pitch as we go here, but if it doesn't totally slow down, I don't have a huge problem with that. We're still climbing, so I'm not too worried. Okay, now we should be able to correct our turn just a little bit more. Our pitch, at least, should be a little bit easier to control. There's all of that. Alright. Got rid of all of those. Good stuff. Alright, now we should be at least a little bit more stable as we try to get our orbit going here. And, yeah, it looks like maybe not such a bad deal after all. Fine with me. Okay, let's point our nose down this way a little bit to hopefully correct our orbital curve here. Definitely not a great curve that we have going on. Okay. We're also hopefully recycling some of this energy to not only bring us back up in our orbital shift here, but also, bring down apoapsis just a teensy bit. It doesn't need to go like crazy down or anything, but it'd be nice if we could correct it as much as we can while we have the chance. Right, watching my fuel. Okay. And... Oh... Alright, yeah, it's doing about what I want it to. So let's go ahead and we are going to straighten it back out here. Hit prograde, get this up just to make sure periapsis isn't like phenomenally low or anything. Okay. And you know what? Close enough. We're pretty close to where the space station's going to be in our orbit for being able to actually intercept the thing, so we're just going to go ahead and speed up time as fast as it'll let us and see if we can catch up with it. And then plot our moves from there. All should be well. I feel pretty good about this. It's not going to be very hard to get to the station. Everything else entailed with actually succeeding in this is going to be the interesting part, let's call it. So, alright. And we're coming around the bend. Let's go ahead and add a maneuver. Well, set as target. We should be pretty good to go. There we go. That's not too bad. Okay. And again, we got the crazy blinkies. But apparently they don't matter too much. Alright, now let us... if we line that up as best as we can. Here comes ascending node. Alright. And then... whoa, easy. And again, line up ascending node. Where does that put us? 1.3. You know what? I'll take that. I'm not going to mess around with it too much. So, it seems like a lot of my tomfoolery is easily fixed by not trying to be too exact on those things. Even in the tutorial, they tell you, hey, try to get within 10 kilometers of the object. And I try to get a lot closer, and all that seems to do is make me dangerously close to crashing into whatever I happen to be flying towards. So, okay. Well, I guess maybe not so much, but one of my more recent off-camera missions had me almost crash into the space station, and I was like, okay, cool, we're in a good position. And I forgot how I had placed my ullage motors on the sides of my ship, and almost, or on the sides of my fuel tanks, and almost flung one directly into the space station without having quick saved. And I was like, oh boy, that could have been really bad. Alright, we're going to go ahead and kill this marker so that we can watch this manually and see what happens. Alright. Ooh. And let's see. Whoop. Alright. Okay. Alright, cool. So 2 kilometers. I'm not going to fight it any more than I have to, so let's go ahead and turn around. This is going pretty smooth. I'm not too concerned whatsoever. Okay. We'll aim at retrograde, which will hopefully put us somewhere close by where we want to be in regards to retrograde relative to target. So, alright, and there we go. A few little adjustments there. And hit the map. Speed up. Okay. The unfortunate part is actually our station has a little bit of an irregular orbit. It's not perfectly equatorial. So, I don't know if you can see it here. Where was it? I noticed that it was off by a few degrees, and it was like, well, you know, no big deal, really. Okay. And then let us slow down right about here. Yes. Alright, so target 158 meters per second. And, well, closer to 159, but whatever. And where is a target, actually? This is a bit of an unfortunate not being able to see the target situation. There it is. Okay, cool. So we're actually coming in pretty hot. And we're aiming for 2 kilometers separation, which means we should probably start slowing down right now. Alright. Okay. And actually we can adjust this as we go. Oh, wait for that docking port to show up. Good lad, that docking port thing. Alright. This actually does work by firing off and trying to chase off our, whoa. Okay. That's going to help us get a little bit closer, I think. And let me go ahead and try to adjust this some more. Very carefully. Very carefully. We're going to drop down our speed, but at the same time, maneuver ourselves so that we're actually aiming towards the station as close as we possibly can. So what we want to do is probably face a fairly extreme angle and then adjust. And you see how I'm kind of pushing retrograde away towards the target. And as we do that, it will actually put us closer and closer in relative direction and speed towards the target. So this is not a bad thing to do. It's a cool little trick I kind of figured out. So I like it. It's good. Alright, and we're going to adjust. We're at 3.4 meters a second, which is good for speeding up. Let's do that part. Okay. There we go. We're a lot closer than 2 kilometers, so everything worked out just fine as far as I'm concerned. So what we're going to do now is basically the same thing and then speed up as needed. Ooh. And by speed up, I mean actual time warpy kind of stuff. Alright, so here we are at 990 meters away and 1 meter a second. Okay. And there we go, times 50. Looks like that's about as close as we're going to get at this particular pass, so I'm not too concerned. And here we are on our final slowdown slash approachy kind of thing. And now I just need to know what target I'm actually aimed at here. That would be the really good thing. I think we have plenty of monopropellant to get over there, although I've been wrong about 200 monopropellant before. I've been burned in the past. Okay. And then let me go ahead and speed up just a teensy bit. See how absolutely close we can get before separating. So let's go ahead and separate these last few. Oh, hey, thanks for that indicator there. Alright. And separate. Goodbye. Alright, so that means we've got a whole bunch of engines active that we can't actually use. So let's go ahead and turn those off. Good stuff. The button works. Hooray. And then we're going to turn on RCS and punch it, at least as much as one does with RCS. And adjust, 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 adjust. Oh crap, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to turn in this thing. That's probably fine though. And then I put the linear RCS ports on here because they have a little bit more thrust and they're a little bit more useful for some things. However, all I have to actually turn radially, I guess it can turn radially pretty well, and I'm freaking out about basically nothing, but still, regardless, it helps to be able to know if you're controlling with more than just a reaction wheel. So, just a personal preference. Alright, let's aim towards the station. And fire monopropellant. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, well, turn on monopropellant and then fire in 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. Alright, and here we go. We're going to get to 1 meter a second towards Minmus Station. I just need to get close enough to see what it is I'm aiming for, so let's go ahead and time warp. I'm definitely way off the mark of, like, actually trying to hit the station, but that maybe was partially intentional. So, okay. Here we go. Hello, Minmus Station. We are back. Hey, nice little eclipse there. That is a Kerbal eclipse. Is it? No, I don't know what object that is. I can't tell because it's eclipsing the sun. So, okay, well now it's super bright again. Wonderful. And we are aiming directly at the sun. Okay, let's find... There we go. Prograde's good enough. And then we'll retro rocket this thing to a stop. Okay. That was not nearly as close as I would have liked it to be. I keep forgetting, like, my relative angles and triangulation and important things like that. So, information I should probably keep track of. Okay, these linear RCS parts are not as effective as I would like them to be, although I guess I am moving around a lot more mass. Last time I set up RCS with, like, linear RCS ports like this, it was with just the big cross section, or the cross piece that was, that's in the middle of the space station now. And that is probably substantially lighter than 16 nuclear engines. So, you know, I can't blame it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, let's go ahead and aim for the station again. We're only going to go... Let's do like so. Oh my god. Could prograde please catch up? Thanks. Alright. And what side are we even aiming for here? This is the big question at hand. Okay, so if that's the front end... Okay, I think I have an idea of what we need to be doing here. One more little course correct. And we're not using nearly as much monopropellant as I thought we would be, so that's good. Okay. 8, 7, 6, 7, come on. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, at least now we're heading for it. Let me see. I can see the big wingy parts. What is that? Is that the dock on the end? I think it might be. That might be what we want to aim for. So let's go ahead and aim for it some more, and then let's go ahead and quick save really quick, and then we can revert back if we really need to. Alright, I want you to head for the marker as close as you can possibly get. Alright, cool. 1.3 meters a second, not too bad. You just need to remember that we need an incredibly huge amount of lead time to be able to correct for that. Alright, and we'll actually do some... Whoop, there we go. A little bit of corrections and orientation there. Speed up. Yeah, because if it's selected on the end there, if it's the front end, there's only 2 places where it would try to attach. And then if it's the back end, there's 3. So it can only be one of those, basically. And it looks like we might be a little lucky. So let's go ahead and slow down time again. Man, oh man. Alright. Let's flip it around here. Yes, okay, so it is aimed for that. That's good. Let's go ahead and control from here. Alright. And we'll go ahead and slow everything down. Alright. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong direction. Hold on. And then we'll go ahead and try to make our adjustments as best as we can to actually adjust for docking. So we've still got, what? A couple minutes? Yeah, so we made it to the station. We launched this thing. It was a little harrowing, I guess. So now all that remains is actually docking and firing, getting in position and trying to fire the thing. Although I still need lights on my damn station. Well, we're not going to have to worry about being overshadowed by a planet anytime soon. So what I'll do, I have a couple ideas for how to handle this. And it should be kind of interesting to watch. It'll give it an idea of how we'll be launching things towards Minmus for the next several missions. Minmus missions. That's weirdly hard to say 3 times fast. So, okay. Oh my god. Yeah, this definitely is maybe a little bit of a pain in the ass to steer around and whatnot. I just want you to be slower. Would you please stop running away from me? Alright, okay. Well, alright, let me just adjust and then I'll figure it out from there. No big deal. Okay, so now, as we attempt to orient ourselves in such a fashion as to actually get this thing where we want it to be. Is this going to help? There we go. Alright, that's what I wanted. Yes. Alright, let's orient the docking port and then we can adjust from there. Oh, that's right. It's so weird controlling the orange reticle. Oh, I did it backwards. Ooh. Okay. And cool. I think we have just enough monopropellant to not be too terribly worried. Oh, oh, oh. And yeah, so I'll get most of this docked up, and then next episode we'll actually dock and make it work, make it happen. It's going to be magic time. And then we'll see what'll actually end up becoming of our fantastical spaceship here. And if worse comes to worse, I'm going to take a break from KSP for a little bit because I spent a lot of effort putting this thing together. All right. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. There we go. And not too bad. I'll make the finer adjustments later. So let's go ahead and we want to orient this way next, which should be about like so. Yeah, that should probably work. Cool stuff. All right. Either way, this has been Cardboard Decoy playing Kerbal Space Program. If you've enjoyed, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time, where we will hopefully get this thing up and running and good to go. And that should be a lot of fun. So, yeah. Until then, have fun.